Hi, I'm Robert Livingston, the president of the Benton County Farm Bureau, and I am pleased to introduce to you our young farmer, Mike Catrusa.
Started, while in high school in 2008, and just a small scale, like a quarter of an acre garden, and then just started selling the local farmers market, and then it started expanding a little more, and then when I started going to college, I kind of had to pay my way through college. And then when I graduated from UT Martin in 2014, I became a full-time farmer. Came back home, started farming full-time. This is Mike's Produce, and we farm about 30 to 35 acres and about 15 acres of sweet corn. We have about 8 acres of tomatoes. We do have a couple of acres of squash and a couple of acres of peppers altogether. We got about 4 acres of watermelon and cantaloupe. The biggest seller is sweet corn and tomatoes. I would say the tomatoes are the biggest seller because everybody wants a tomato, especially in the summertime when a bologna sandwich goes anywhere from Camden all the way to Memphis. Mostly it's direct sales, farmers markets, direct sales to consumers, grocery stores, a few restaurants, and just wholesale outlets in Memphis. You realize that people come to the markets and they see you as a farmer. A lot of times they don't see the row crop farmers, and people come to the farmers market, they see that you're producing and you know that they go straight to the customers. And we do also U-pick strawberry patch in the spring. We also do pumpkins in the fall. I'm planning the peach orchard and apple orchard this coming winter. Already got a ground broke for that. Hopefully it'll happen, weather allows. I just want more people to be familiar with farming, to know that you don't go in strawberry shells, in the grocery store shells. So we just want to bring awareness to agriculture, because sometimes farmers get negative criticism. We do take serious stewardship, environmental stewardship, and everybody takes it serious. So I just want to clear that confusion among the public.
My name is William May. I'm treasurer of the Dyer County Farm Bureau. I would like to introduce Hunter Grills, our Young Farmer of the Year, and his wife, Laura.
I'm a 9th generation farmer, and I farm with my dad and my 2 brothers. My dad just recently retired, but he's still helping us on the farm. He'll never quit. And we farm about 3,000 acres here. We've got diversified operations, corn, soybeans. We raise some triticale, occasionally some wheat and oats. And then we also, every few years, we'll raise some grain sorghum. And then also run about a good herd of mama cows, commercial beef herd. And we try to stay around 2,000 acres of soybeans roughly and 1,000 acres of corn. And that way we can be on an every 3rd year rotation to make sure that we're rotating our crop protection products and varieties in all of our crops. Of course, nutrients as well. And 2 irrigation pivots covers about 230, 240 acres, something like that. And our prayer is that we don't even have to use them, but those dry years, they sure do pay off a lot, for sure. We live pretty close to the Mississippi River here, so a lot of our grain goes down and is exported down the Mississippi River. And we also haul some to Tyson Grain, which a lot of it goes to chicken barns. We've got in Dyer County, we're very blessed with a very good infrastructure. We have a lot of pipelines that run through here, the Mississippi River, the rail system. A lot of interstates are really close by, so we have a lot of markets for our crops. And of course, we have an ethanol plant close by as well. We see that the farming operation, and want to expand the operation and want to be profitable. However, I don't ever want to get too caught up in it that we lose vision and we lose the focus on the family and the farm. And family is a big part, so it's exciting to recently be married now and to get to share our life together and bring her in as part of the farm. And it was just a blessing to always get to grow up and be really close to family. I get to work, with my dad and my granddad, my brothers and uncles. It was just, it's the only lifestyle that I know, but I can't think of anything that I would love more.
Hello, my name is Todd Littleton. I'm the Gibson County Farm Bureau President. It is my honor to introduce Peyton Harper, our young farmer winner, and wife Jill and son Boone.
I bought my grandfather's operation in 2016 due to health reasons. Something I love to do. Grew up as a kid, getting the combine with my grandfather. And my job would always be to pull the lever next to the buddy seat to unload the auger back in the old styles. And I always wanted to drive. And he'd always say, you can drive when you're big enough to press the clutch. Well, that day finally came, and here I am, I have 6 other guys that work with me on my team, and that consists of Harper Farms today. We farm about 9,000 acres, with 2,000 acres of that being double crop soybeans. We grow about 3,000 acres of corn every year. All that is sold out of the field. 98% of my crop is sold basically to Tyson locally. We have about 4,000 acres of soybeans, 2,000 acres of that being early beans, as we call them, and those 2 are sold to Tyson. Wheat, same way. We'll have 2,000 acres of wheat sold also to Tyson, and double crop wheat beans, 2,000 acres, also sold locally to Tyson. The challenge is what motivates me, drives me. Like I said, it's something new every day, every year, something different, you know, with weather challenges, market challenges. You really gotta rely on a lot of people and have faith in people who you're dealing with and have a solid team. Couldn't do it without them. Number one, God has blessed my family, our family, with previous generations of farming. And that's something that I don't take lightly. My family support, my grandparents gave me the opportunity to continue farming, continue the legacy. My wife and my team. You know, I couldn't do it without anything. God, family, team, it's everybody.
Hello, I'm Kevin Bomer from Henry County. I'm also the county president, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Blake Kennedy as our Young Farmer of the Year.
When I was about 7 years old, I decided that I wanted to start farming, and I wanted to kind of start my own business. I started selling on Highway 641. I had a small card table, and I'd sit there all day, and I'd barely have any business at all. But at 7 years old, though, that was something fun to do, and so as time went on, I just kept expanding a little bit, and when I was about 10, the Henry County Farmers Market started to take off. So I started selling at the farmers market, and I've continued since. At the moment, I'm operating on about 6 acres here myself that I rent from my dad through a labor exchange. We've got 3 greenhouses that I'm using. The one high tunnel greenhouse over there, and it's got about 600 tomatoes in it, and the other small one's got about 300 in it. Besides that, I've probably got about 20 different other varieties of produce. I've got cucumbers, squash, zucchini, watermelons, cantaloupes, onions, just small things like that, regular grocery items, and then I take that to farmers market and sell. I'm proud, you know, that I am a Pick Tennessee farm here, and I go to the Henry County Farmers Market twice a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. I've had an absolutely great turnout there. I'm the youngest vendor there, and I always have been since I was 10. So I usually will typically have a line of about 100 to 200 people at opening, waiting. We'll sell out in about 45 minutes everything we bring. I typically will bring about 200 or 300 pounds of tomatoes alone, and those will sell out really quick, as well as we'll bring sweet corn, cantaloupes, all the other stuff, and that stuff we bring in larger quantities too there, and it'll sell out pretty quick. My grandfather helps a lot. He just does this, he's always helped me since I was 7. Me and him, we get up at 5:30 in the morning and start on Tuesdays and Fridays and work till 6 or 7 o'clock at night. I'm very grateful for him for doing that with me. It's not easy work, but it's rewarding work. And this is not something I do to try to get rich off of. I've always just kind of done this to give back to the community and help feed people.
My name is George Meadows, and I'm president of the Lauderdale County Farm Bureau, and I'm very pleased today to be able to introduce our Young Farmer of the Year, Mr. Robert Hill.
So I'm a 5th generation farmer. My grandfather started commercially farming. Before him, they were just sharecropping to make ends meet. Since that time, we've grown the farm to about 6,400 acres of mainly cotton, and then we have some corn and soybeans mixed into rotating around. We have myself, my father, and my sister that all farm the 6,500 acres combined. So this year we're growing about 5,500 acres of cotton, upland cotton, and then the balance, which is I think is about 800 acres of soybeans. We carry to the cotton gins. We have 2 local gins that we rinse some ground through that we take about half the crop goes to East Cotton Gin, and they're both within about 7 miles of our shop. So our cotton will probably go into towels and sheets or whatever, and then makeup products, and it'll just be sold into, and they'll spin it into whatever they need it. Soybeans we carry down to Hales Point, which is outside of Halls on the Mississippi River, and that is, having the Mississippi River very close to us helps us in the harvest season. We have about 10 pivots that we have cotton and soybeans under, and then we have 2 farms that have been leveled by GPS to be able to further irrigate down the middles. And then we have 40 acres of subsurface drip irrigation that my dad put in 2007. One day I hope to be able to take over the farm when my father decides to retire. That's always been one of our lifetime goals, is to be able to be in a position to buy his operation out when he gets the chance to retire, so he doesn't work all his life away and he can go and enjoy his retirement. There's really no other profession that I can see myself doing. And I tell a lot of people that if you didn't love farming, you wouldn't be doing it, because there's some days and there's a whole lot of stress that we go through sometimes. And so there's nothing I could ever see myself doing besides farming, but I do love it.
I'm Mike Holman, president of Obion County Farm Bureau. I'm proud to introduce my son and his wife Leah as county winners of the Young Farmer and Rancher, along with the newest Farm Bureau member, Ella.
I'm a 4th generation farmer. I've been helping my dad in farming my whole life. So growing up doing it, I just come home from school and went to work, and then during college I always scheduled all my classes during one part of the day so I could work the next part of the day. We grow corn and soybeans on about 2,200 acres. We usually try to grow 50-50, 50% corn, 50% soybeans. Usually our corn probably averages 170 bushel, 180 bushel an acre. We usually sell all of it to the ethanol plant or Obion Grain. We have some bin storage space, and most of that usually goes to ethanol. We probably have altogether probably about 1,500 acres of beans. The majority of our beans go to Cargill on the river at Hickman. We got 5 irrigation systems. All of them together, they probably cover an average of 100 acres, but they have tremendously improved yield, allowed us to plant corn in places that we haven't. And my wife and I, Leah and I, we are kind of looking at different ways to diversify, whether it be building hog barns, or Leah's family has a cattle operation. I think she would enjoy getting to be a part of it. So we welcomed a little one this year. Her name is Ella, and got some farm help on the way, so maybe she will be helping us in the future. I was looking through an old school annual, and it had in there a questionnaire that said, what do you want to do whenever you grow up? And I wrote, I want to be a farmer like my dad. So yeah, that's something that I just always wanted to do. So.
Hello, I'm Ben Moore, president of the Weakley County Farm Bureau. I'm very pleased to introduce Glenn Hall, Weakley County's young farmer and rancher.
Grandfather started farming here over 50 years ago, and then my dad and uncle, they farmed with their dad, and then they took over, and I come along, and I've been farming with my dad and uncle, and we farm about 4,000 acres, and we enjoy it, love it, and I don't know what else we'd really be doing. So normally we run about 1,500 acres of corn, and then we'll have about a little over 2,000 acres of beans, and then you'll have your about 500-600 acres of wheat, and then we double crop that. So we're fairly well even across. We grow more beans than we do corn, and we grow Pioneer corn and Pioneer beans. Everything's Pioneer. Everything we goes to Robinson Blue right up here at Sharon. It's 7 miles from the home farm, and we haul everything we grow to them. We're doing 2,000 acres of cover crop. That's become a bigger thing. We've increased our acreage just about every year on cover crop. I do a little custom harvesting. I've done some for a few neighbors. I've done a lot of dirt work. That's mostly what I do out for custom. On all of our farms, all the erosion control structures and everything we do for erosion, I'm real proud of because we work real hard on taking care of our land. Hope to be able to keep farming as long as I want to farm and able to farm. Something that I love to do. You plant the seed and you hope that it comes up and makes it to all its potential. It's kind of rewarding to watch a crop that you planted come up and grow to the end. It's just one of them things that you just enjoy doing, and I can do it and I love it, so not everybody can do what they love.
I'm Robeson County Farm Bureau President Buddy Bryant, and I'd like to introduce you to our county award winners, Lee and Haley Bagwell, and their son, John Lee.
I took over the farm from my dad 4 years ago. I graduated college and met Haley and we got married. I was farming with Daddy long before then, but it was kind of the time for me to take over. We're farming around 750 acres, corn, wheat, soybeans, and got 30 acres of dark fired and dark air cured tobacco. So on our 350 acres of corn, we're planting anywhere from 113 to 117 day hybrids. We've got 2 varieties of beans this year, a 4.9 maturity and then a 4.6. We've got 3 different varieties of wheat this year. I hired an agronomist this past year to manage my whole wheat crop just because timing on a lot of the fungicides and stuff, you've got to be on it pretty well to get yield. That's what I'm chasing, yield. I'm still a seed rep for Beck's. I've been with them for 5 years. We've always dealt with greenhouses, raising tobacco plants for the public, and then this fall I'm probably going to take one of those greenhouses and put tomatoes in it to try and get through the winter. It's a new enterprise to just diversify that much more. We've always done custom harvest and custom planting. That's always been a big side of what we do.
As a family, we try to do as much as we can together. If he needs help setting tobacco in the greenhouse or leading them to another farm, we try to all chip in where we can. I deal mainly with the financial aspect of it.
With her taking care of the books, it makes it a whole lot easier on me to focus on daily operations as far as crop health, what we need to be doing, our labor management and stuff like that. We welcomed our 5th generation to the farm in February. We're trying to grow the farm big enough to where when he gets old enough, if he wants to farm, both of us will be able to be on the farm together. And that's a big deal for me.
Hello, my name is Herman Franks. I'm president of the Wayne County Farm Bureau, and I'd like to introduce our young farmer, Philip Berry.
Grew up on the farm, been around cows and all that my whole life. My daddy and grandpa, they farmed their whole life, so I just grew up in it. Well, I started out about 15 head of cows, and over the years I've just expanded and got up to about 90 mama cows now, and I'm looking to buy probably, 30, 40 more, put on some new ground I got. Usually carry most of my calves to the sale barn over in Savannah, Tennessee. Then I help my grandpa with all his cows. He's got about probably 250, 260 mama cows. Hey, this year was good. I mean, some of the best we've built over the years. I guess all this rain. So far on the first cutting here, we've built a little over 800 bales. We got to fill up, get the barns back full, so we'll probably look to build about 1,800 to 2,000 bales this year. Now, the chicken business is good. It's helped me build my farm to be bigger and helped me to buy more land. There's about 10,000 in each barn, so I got around about 40,000 chickens. And during the peak of production, 40,000 chickens lay up to about 28,000 eggs a day. I'm with Avigen North America, and they supply the chicken. They bring them to me at 20 weeks of age, and they'll start laying about 22 weeks, and I'll keep them all the way through their laying cycle. And they do come get the eggs twice a week, and they'll carry them to the hatchery and hatch the chickens out. I mean, I can clear land. We got dozers, bobcats, track hoes, backhoes. dig basements, build barn pads. I've even dug a underground swimming pool for people. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing what my daddy would want me to do. I feel like he'd be proud. That's how he raised me. So just trying to be the best I can.
Hello, my name is Herman Franks. I'm president of the Wayne County Farm Bureau, and I'm pleased to introduce our young farmer, Nathan Deering.
We've had this place here since 1952, and the name is just, our last name, just Deering Farms, just our last name. My granddaddy, my dad, and my brother, we all farm together. We farm 2,000 a row crop, and we custom farm 1,000 on an annual basis. We raise cattle, corn, wheat, and soybeans, and produce hay. We take care of about 400 mama cows. They're just a mixed breed, they're just commercial cows, nothing special. And we mainly run Charolais bulls. We wean all of our calves and take them to yearlings and background them for 90 days. And then we market them at Hardin County Stockyard at Savannah, Tennessee. We'll raise 700 or 800 acres of corn, and we'll market it at Pilgrim's Pride, and we'll sell corn to the local co-op to run through the store. We'll keep enough corn to feed her. We'll grind our own feed and feed our cows corn. We've got 300 acres of wheat. We'll market the wheat at Alabama Farmers in Florence. Then we'll bale the wheat straw off that. We raise 1,300 acres of soybeans. We'll market them at Decatur, Alabama at Bungie. We can store close to 200,000 bushel on the farm. We'll bale 300 acres of annual grass hay, and then we'll put up another 300 of crop that will grow on our crop fields in the winter. We sell about 10,000 small square bales yearly. We can sell as much straw as we can get baled up. We furnish hay to the stockyards, the Tennessee Valley and Hardin County Stockyard, and we sell hay at the Wayne Farmers Co-op. Now, I've just always enjoyed it and just continued to grow. I guess the enjoyment of watching things grow, start with nothing and end up with something maybe.
Hey everybody, I'm Kim Ballard, President of the Franklin County Farm Bureau. Welcome to Franklin County. We are so excited to introduce to you our Young Farmer of the Year, Mr. Kerry Robinson.
We're here at Sugar Tree Farms, and I'm the second generation farmer. My dad started farming when he was in high school and continued to grow his operation over the years. My brother and I started riding the tractors when we were just little bitty, and as we grew, so did our responsibilities. And now the farm has grown to over 3,000 acres where we grow corn, wheat, soybeans, oats, and occasionally rye and crimson clover. We also grow hay and bale straw. We have beef cattle, we have an on-farm feed store, and a Farm King equipment dealership. We had about 450 acres of wheat, and so far we're up to about 20,000 square bales of straw baled from the wheat. The wheat that we grow, we sell off the farm, and all of our wheat acres are double cropped with soybeans. We'll also have about 1,000 acres of full season soybeans. Our corn, we sell what we can through our feed store, and then the remainder will mostly go to Tyson with a little bit sold to Woodall and other granaries. Pretty much all of the oats we grow, we turn into feed, and what we don't, we'll sell to other feed stores. We have about 120 head of mama cows that we raise calves on, and they're primarily Black Angus, but a few cross is mixed in. We do take on some custom hire jobs for other people where we spread fertilizer, lime, do some planting and sowing, dozer work and track hoe work. Environmental friendly is very important to me, and making sure that the ground's in better shape when I leave it than what it is when I started farming is very important to me because it's the only ground we've got. We need to take very good care of it. Well, I really love farming and hope that I can farm all my life. There's nothing else that I found that I like doing any better than farming.
Hello, I'm Buford Jennings. I'm president of the Moore County Farm Bureau, and I'd like to introduce to you Jesse Millsaps. Jesse is our Young Farmer of the Year, and we're mighty proud of his achievements.
This is a 4th generation beef cow-calf farm. We raise mostly commercial cattle. I do have a registered shorthorn herd, which I produce registered shorthorn heifers and a few registered bulls. We market most of our calves through Tennessee Livestock Producers in Fayetteville, and we raise hay and put up to feed cattle. We're about 1,200 acres. We have about 300 acres in our hay operation, and the rest is used as cattle grazing. I've got about 30 registered shorthorn cattle, and I enjoy working with registered cattle and breaking them. Have shown cattle before through 4-H and that kind of thing. I feed, maintain, and care for cattle. I implement rotational grazing. I doctor sick calves, pink eye, that kind of thing. And we wean calves to maximize their yield and do background some of our own cattle in order to maximize how they will do in market. This year I've baled 650 bales of mostly mixed grass forage hay. We have 5 to 6 rollers, and we rolled 128 bales of wheat hay that was sown last fall and harvested this spring. I'm a student at Tennessee Tech University. I'm a mechanical engineering student, and a lot of things on the farm are engineering type stuff. You know, anything from building fences to pens to working on farm equipment. It's all engineering kind of things, and I enjoy learning how stuff works and learning to make it work better. Even if I move into a public job, I would like to continue to farm some on the side and maintain my cattle herd. And I enjoy farming. It's what I like to do. I enjoy working with cattle and driving the tractors. Enjoy learning about new technology that's coming out into the market, and I think farming is a good way to leave a mark on the world and do good things.
Hello, I'm Jeff Clements, President of Clay County Farm Bureau. I'm happy to introduce our Young Farmers of the Year, Caleb and Amber Rich, and their son Wyatt.
I've always been on a farm. My dad has a broiler operation, has had for over 20 years, so I've always been in it and known it. And we just kind of got to the point in our life where we thought we needed something of our own. We've been working on the family farm for a while and decided to have our own. We had a pretty good idea it was going to be chickens. I mean, like I said, I've known poultry for forever, and we were going to do the same thing my father does, broilers, and we decided that this would be a little better.
We raise a Highland cross. They're laying hens. Currently we have 19,677.
The eggs that we produce are pastured organic table eggs, like you would find in the grocery store. Mostly your high-end food stores, stores like your Whole Foods, Kroger's, places like that. We house our birds in a 50 by 500 barn. They do have access to outside. They have access doors down both sides that they can get out to pasture. We're contracted to sell our eggs through Handsome Brook Farms. They're a company owned out of New York. They are right now the largest pastured organic producers there is. We decided to go the organic route instead of more conventional, just to explore different markets. The labor is a little easier than other poultry operations. It's a slightly smaller time requirement, but you are more committed to it, I feel like. It was a little hard getting this started, being young. You know, we don't hardly have the history that some more established farmers would. We got through it and made it all work, but it was a little bit of a challenge in the beginning. It's nice to be at home with your family, just working, honestly. And that's the end game, is both of us be at home, just working on the farm as a family.
Hey everybody, I'm Bobby Love, President of the Warren County Farm Bureau. Got with me Mark Grissom, Warren County's outstanding young farmer for this year.
So right now is me, my dad Mike, and my granddad David. And I come along and we was down to about 20 heifers, and all I wanted to do was be on a tractor. And so since then, since mid-2000s I'll say, we've been growing, and me, my dad, my pa, working together, being in the same field, all doing different jobs is a love for farming that I can't even imagine to tell you. So we grow corn, beans, and wheat, take the straw off the wheat. Most of our corn is going to go to Tyson, 250 acres of soybeans. Most of that is rented ground, but diverse as we are, we utilize every acre that's possible. We have a little bit of nursery. I mean, we are in a pretty big nursery country here. We grow a lot of dogwoods, hybrid dogwoods, some viburnums, and some hydrangeas. We're actually growers for the wholesalers. The cattle are sort of me and my pa's thing. So we're just a cow-calf operation that takes it to the local feeder sale. We've got about 150 mamas right now. And for hays, we grow Bermuda, alfalfa, Timothy, teff, orchard grass. It's going to go primarily to horse people and people with small ruminant animals. But I focus on the quality of the hay, not so much of the volume. You know, it's mold-free, dust-free, tight bales, clean, lots of foliage, green in color, you know, all the things that matter. You know, I can't tell you how rewarding it is to go on a hay delivery and fill somebody's barn full of hay, and they're just so happy, and you have conversations with them and meet them and talk about their life, and really how the same we are. I think that everybody is good at something, and whether I like it or not, I think growing forages and hay is what I'm good at, and so I believe everybody should do what they're good at. And so I'm going to try to make it work and see what we can do with it.
Hello, I'm Richard Snowden, President of the Greene County Farm Bureau, and I'm proud to introduce our Young Farmer of the Year, Eric Sutherland.
The farm started out almost 200 years ago. I'm the 5th generation farmer on the farm currently. There's 9 total greenhouses. That includes the 2 with tomatoes and other vegetables set in them, 3 of them used for vegetable plant production, 3 others used for flower plant production, and another one that's mostly with foliage plants and ferns. A normal year in the greenhouse is about 1,000 flats of vegetables, 1,000 flats of flowers, which would each hold 48 plants each. Then about 2,000 mixed containers and hanging baskets. And then again in the fall, we have about 800 mums and also have some sweet potato beds to pull sweet potato slips. The vegetable operation consists of about 4 acres. The largest portion of it's sweet corn planted in 2-acre intervals to total out to somewhere around an acre. There's about a ½ acre of green beans, ½ acre of tomatoes, totaling about 2,000 to 2,500 plants. Also squash, cucumbers, pumpkins, onions, cantaloupe, watermelons, and other miscellaneous vegetables are planted throughout the year for a total of about 4 acres. Right now we have about 190 total head of beef cattle. That's including baby calves, weaned calves, and all. It's based off of mostly Angus cross cattle. The row crop operation is also just to feed the beef cattle. There's about 30 acres of field corn that's solely used for silage that'll be chopped and fed out throughout the year. There's 5 acres of wheat and ryegrass that we sow each year to have. In the hay operation, the normal yield in a year is about 850 round bales, 4x5s, and also 1,000 square bales of millet, soybeans, and alfalfa. I've always enjoyed being out, sowing the seeds, watching them grow from start to finish, and also being able to see my product go from my farm to people's tables by selling it at farmers markets and also other venues throughout the year.
Hello, I'm Zane Vanover, Sullivan County Farm Bureau President, and I am honored and thrilled to introduce you to our Young Farmers of the Year, John and Sarah King.
I'm the 8th generation to be on this farm. The farm started in 1778. We're milking about 250 head of Holstein cows. twice a day. Smack sales running about 150,000. Our PI is 0. Butterfat's at 4.1. We start milking at about 2:30 in the morning, and then they'll come pick the milk up, about 9:30, 10 o'clock out of the milk tank. It goes to Asheville, North Carolina. It's a milk co. That's the milk plant. And then they'll process it and bottle it, and it comes out in the stores as Laurelin or Seal Test, mainly at Ingles. There's about 42, I believe, on the bottle. It starts with them, and if you do a good job when they're babies, you're going to have a good set of cows. And it shows now. We have an excellent set of cows. Our herd average is 70, 75 pounds. We're growing about 300 acres of corn, and we'll use it for corn silage. Like I say, we'll fill the silos, and if we have any extra left over, then we'll pick it for ear corn and grind our own feed for calves or troop feeders. Got about 400 acres of grass that we'll use, and we'll bale it for hay, and we'll have about 200 acres of small grain, which will consist of rye and wheat. And the rye, we'll bale it for bedding for our pack barns. The wheat, we'll use it for feed purpose. We've got about 100 head of Angus beef cows, mama cows, and we market them through Tri-State Livestock Yard or a feed yard, which is Osborne Farms. Ever since I was a little kid, my dad and granddaddy, they took me with them, and I'd ride in tractors and do this and that, and I just fell right in there, and I'd ride it home. It's what I've always done. It's what I've always loved. I told my second grade teacher, they asked us what we was going to do for a living. I said, I'm going to farm just like my daddy. And by gosh, to this day, she said, you stood up to what you told us, that you was going to farm.